Like, where you from and where you represent?
Yeah, I'm from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? From the west side of Detroit. I represent good music, man. Def Jam, finally famous, so.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I got
sir.
you. So how did it coming out of Detroit? How did you get connected with good music?
Man, it was a crazy story. Like, back when I was in high school, I had a great relationship with the radio station because every Friday, they had a show where, like, local rappers from the city would come and get, like, they would battle each other, and whoever wants to battle gets to go on air live and freestyle over the radio.
Oh, okay.
I started doing that when I was like 15 to like 16, and ended up doing it for like a year. I got a great relationship with the radio station, so the summer between junior and senior year, I was still in high school. So, man, at that time between junior and senior year of high school, I was a telemarketer. Man, it was like the worst job ever. Like, I was making like $100 a week.
Whoa.
I was selling like some crazy stuff over the phone. But anyway, I was cashing my check. It was a Saturday morning. And I just remember thinking like, man, this sucks. And my homie called me on my phone. My homie Tone hit me up and was like, yo, man, you listening to the radio? I'm like, no, I'm in the bank. What's up? And he was like, man, Kanye on the radio station, man, he playing his new songs and stuff. He was like, man, if you spit for him, man, he'll sign you, man. If you rap for him, he's like, you should go down and rap for him. And I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? I was like,
Yeah.
he ain't gonna sign, blah, blah, blah.
I feel
And
you,
my homie
man.
was like, man, just do it. So I walked out of the bank without cashing my check. And I was super duper broke, man. I rode past my crib to pick up the CD. And luckily one of my friends whose like family was kind of rich, he had some money, so he gave me $20 to drive down there.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he could come with me. So I ended up going down to the radio station, and I had just been there the previous day before that, because I was doing the radio show. So they let me in.
Hello? Hello? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you a little bit. Nah, it's breaking up still.
Okay, I'm about to call you from the other phone real quick.
All right.
It sounded real official right now, though.
I can hear you now,
You know
yeah.
what? It sounded real official right now. Oh, what?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, so what parts couldn't you hear? I mean,
You said your friend had gave you $20 to go down to the radio station.
Yeah. He gave me $20 to go out to the radio station. And since I've been there previously the day before, they let me in like real easy. I told them I like left something down at the radio station. And I was talking to one of the DJs, and the DJ was like, yo, Kanye right down the hallway, why don't you go holler at him and say what's up? So I ran into his road manager, and his road manager took my seat, and he was like, I'll give it to Kanye, whatever. And I was like, all right, great, appreciate it. But I was standing there looking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I was standing there looking stupid, even though after he said he was getting music to Kanye, because I just wanted to meet dude. And Kanye finally walked out of the office. And so anyway, Kanye finally stepped out of his office, and I shook his hand. And I told him, I'm inspired. He was Friday. That was the part. That was like right when I met Kanye, man. And I gave my CD to his road manager, and then I asked him, could I rap for him? He was like, oh man, I don't have time. I'm like, man, please, man, like, you my hero. And, he was like, well, you gotta rap while we walking out the station. You got a quick 16. So that was like my one moment. I knew it was like, man, it's only got one chance to live a good life, to be what you want to be.
Yeah.
So I spit like all the raps I had, just like all the best raps. I was freestyling, like my best ratings, like everything. And, at first he was just walking, but then when we got to the entrance of the radio station, he like stopped and he started looking at me, and then he started like bobbing his head, and he started, it would be like some punchlines here and there I say, and he'd be like, oh snap, son. But then he was like into it by the end of it. I ended up rapping for like 10 minutes straight. It was like a crowd came on, everything was crazy at the radio station.
Okay.
And, but that was just how I initially got contact with him. He took the CD from his road manager and thought I'm about to listen to this in the car. And then he invited me to his listening party. It was like a private listening party where he was just previewing the album and like all that. And that's how like we got contact. Yeah, that's like how it started. And then over the years, he sent me like tracks when I would do them and send them back. And eventually, man, he just wanted to sign a good music. He wanted me to sign a good music.
I got you. So like,
there's so many crazy stories like in between all that though.
I got you.
Yeah.
So I guess like basically when you met him that day at the studio, that's when he pretty much gave you, he invited you to his listening party.
Yeah. That's
all right.
Like him and his like management and stuff and all that.
And that was pretty much
me to the party. It was like a label party. It was like A&Rs, people from the radio station, people like that. And it was like a private Universal office or something like that. And yeah, it was cool, man. I asked him, was he trying to sign any artists? And he was like, nah, man, I got enough artists. But what he wanted to do, he said, was like maybe to do like a couple beats and a verse, like just to help build our buzz.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, just to help y'all out because I think y'all fresh or whatever. And, but eventually over time, he just would send me stuff, I send it back.
I got you. So like,
that's how it happened.
All right. So once he actually signed you to the label, right? Did he ever go back on, I guess, comment on that day that you first met him? Did it ever come back up, that conversation?
Yeah. He was telling people a lot, like on the road, like, yo, man, this kid freestyle for me. Man, did this and I signed him. Like, he always talking about how he would tell people that. And he was just talking about like how like much he thought like the music was good. And I was like really surprised. So
all right, so
crazy,
like
thing you give music to people like that and they don't listen to it, but he like straight up listen to it.
I got you. All right, so with I guess with the with the deal with you being signed with Good Music at the time, was there any other artists on the label?
Oh yeah, John Legend, Common. Yeah, he had a few like the good music artists on there, and like Cudi. That's when like Cudi was coming around too. But yeah, it was like. All right, so like popping. Yeah, it was fresh.
Have you had the honors to work with any of those other artists on the label?
Yeah, I work with just about all of them. I work with like Mr. Hudson. Me and Cudi working on some stuff. And like, I've been on records with like Common and Ye and John Legend, so it's dope. All good.
All right, so what like did you I guess what was your first like single that you put out there, to be heard?
Oh yeah, so really the first single off the album is titled "What You Doing," and it's like a song that's been getting a lot of like love on the net, and people have been really showing a reaction to it, so we felt like it was just the right one to do initially. It's just like it's just fun shit. It's really like
I feel you.
Just something cool. Yeah.
All right, so basically like coming from Detroit, y'all have a lot of talent out there, I know in Detroit. So I guess like did you look up like what artists did you look up to, coming up, as a rapper?
Man, anybody in Detroit know, like, if you ever been there, like the Cheddar Boys, Blade Icewood, that was like real, man. That was like super big in the deep, man. Like it would be like Jesus and then Blade Icewood, like in Detroit, like that's how high people held this rapper. And it's like you go outside of Detroit, nobody's hardly heard of him. And, you know, he's a legend where I'm from, so, like, you know, Blade, Street Lords, and then, of course, people like Eminem, you know.
Yeah.
They all, like, had a big influence on just music. Like, there's no way you could live in Detroit and not hear that, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah,
All right. So I guess you know, outside of Detroit, you know, like I guess once you started, you know, being, you know, a part of the industry, do you like? Are you still living inside of Are you still living in Detroit, or did you move away from Detroit, or?
Oh yeah, no, I'm still staying in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my hometown.
Okay.
That's what I got love for, man. Like, this is my city. You know, you see like Eminem riding around Detroit because it's his city, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So like as far as music, like what I guess like what kind of style would you say that you have? What kind of music style is it?
Man, to tell you the truth, I don't know what kind of style it is, man. It's something new, you know. It just is what it is, man. To tell you, this is something new, you know.
Is it more of like I mean, cause you got rappers that's like West Coast, so they kind of only stick with West Coast the kind of vibe that you get from. You got East Coast rappers, to where you got like the New York, like the Ghostface, and you know they kind of stay in the same realm, and then you got the South, who all about the South, and of course you got the Midwest rappers. So, like, do you think your style like blend in with?
Oh yeah, I definitely think it's Midwest, man. Like, I mean, I feel like I hear the influence in my music. I feel like I hear the influence in my raps, you know, from the Midwest, definitely. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
And, you know, it's definitely lyric. You know, people consider the East Coast, like New York and all, to be, like, the most lyrical, I guess. Midwest, too. But, like, you know, East Coast is known for the lyrics. So, I guess it kind of does have somewhat of an East Coast feel just because, you know, I like to take my time on the lyricism and really be lyrical. I think that's, like, really important.
All right.
But still remaining it, you know, catchy enough for everybody to understand.
I got you.
Clear enough for people to get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so basically with that being said, do you feel like you know, basically Lupe said it on the song, you know, dumb it down. Do you feel like with the way the game is now that you really like you have to dumb it down a little bit because people don't understand where you're coming from, or do you feel like you just gotta, I guess, find another way to put it out there?
Man, I don't think it's considered dumb it down. One of the things I found out over the years that, you know, working with people like, you know, Pharrell or Kanye or whoever, that, man, simplicity sometimes is harder than coming up with something that's well thought out and complicated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the simple stuff that gets them, man. It's like just the simple hooks, you know, simple raps, but still maintaining. It's hard to be simple and lyrical at the same time. That's something, you know, that I've learned, been trying to learn over the years. But, you know, I think that's, like, very key.
Okay. All right. So, like, you know, right now, we know that you are good music and you're working with a lot of major, you know, big artists that surround you. Do they like influence you to want to rap harder, or you pretty much just do what you've been doing? You ain't like in your comfort zone.
You know what I mean? Wait. So hold on, my fault. Can you just repeat the last part of the question?
I was saying, like, you know, you surrounded by a lot of good people, and you know, and just under your label alone, a lot of good artists. Do you feel feel like that influenced you to want to, like, you know, take it to the next level, or do you feel like you already like in your comfort zone to where, you know, you just doing what you do and it fit in already?
No, oh hell no, man. Always trying to take it to the next level. That's what it's all about. If you're not trying to take it to the next level, then I don't know what's going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, definitely, man, being around people, man, you see Kanye, you see Cudi, you see John Legend, Kanye, man, these are stars and superstars, you know what I'm saying? So it's like just to be in the same sentence as them, you know, on the same label, man, definitely, man, inspires you. It definitely inspires me. I think about that, like, all the time.
Okay. All right. So, I know you had I guess you had put out a mixtape or album. I saw it was Finally Famous as an album, right?
Well, no, the title of the album coming out is gonna be called Finally Famous, but I put mixtapes out.
Okay.
You know, like Finally Famous, the mixtape. You know, Big Sean, and like those were the second mixtape I did. You know, that was the one that got a lot of attention from people. Now, that's the one that had like a lot of my popular songs people like now on it, and yeah, that was the Finally Famous. That's just the mixtape. So we're about to put the album out now. So.
Okay, so the album you're working on now, you're working on getting that out now.
Yeah, we working on it, man. We rounded it up. It's just the last little few things we got to do, but it'll be done real soon. And man, I'm anxious to see what people think.
So what?
I think it's gonna set the bar for a lot of different things, man. Especially like one of the young dudes in hip hop.
Okay.
I think it's really gonna be good.
So what's been the process for your album? Like, is it like you just record a lot of songs and hopeful, you know, just put whatever the best songs on the album, or you actually focusing on making all hot songs for the album?
Man, I've been focusing on making hot songs for like I haven't stopped working on it. Even when we thought it's been done like 3 times. But the thing is, you keep working on it and you just keep coming up with stuff to add on and make better. So yeah, we're working on it as long as we can. But it's finally to a point where you know you really feel comfortable, man. Like it's one thing you know an artist strives for is to feel comfortable about their music. At least I know that's how I feel.
I got you.
I'm really feeling comfortable with it. Like.
So
it's getting there, man.
So as an artist on the label, you know, how much say so do you have in what goes on the actual album?
Probably more than like people would think. You know, I think being on a label like Good Music, they rely on your creativity, and you know, a lot of things are more acceptable because they just know that's what's gonna happen, or that's what's coming when you're on a camp like that. So. You know, a lot of creative Detroit still it's all just about you know, wondering what the people would like too. They just gotta find a medium of what's gonna work or what people feel like is gonna work. And it's what you absolutely love, you know?
Yeah. All right, so as far as like, you know, going back a little bit, you told me that, you know, you was pretty, you know, friendly with the radio because you was already on the radio doing freestyles and battles and everything, right? So do you still, like, I guess your mixtape, is it like a lot of freestyles on there, or what can we expect off the mixtape that you put out?
Well, the mixtape is definitely an intro to the album. It's kind of like the blueprint for the album, you know. You know, mixtape is usually just, you know, a lot of famous mixtapes are just like straight up verses and this and that, but I actually got songs on there, different concepts, you know. But you can definitely expect just straight verses as well. But I wanted to just like help give insight on what the album will sound like, just to give people a preview.
Okay, and where can we find that mixtape, you know, if we don't already have it?
Well, I know it's on, like, first of all, you can get it on YouKnowBigSean.com. That's, like, my website.
Okay.
That's UKNOWBIGSEAN.com. I have, like, a download link right on the homepage, but it was on, like, a lot of big sites, man. You know, Kanye posted it on his site, Hypebeast, the New Music Cartel, you know, XXL, Source. A lot of people posted it up, so it should be available. Maybe still on their websites, but
okay.
But I got a lot of love off of that, man. So.
But it's definitely we can definitely find it on your website, though.
Yeah, definitely. You can find it on my website right when you go on it. And we got some new music coming like now. Like that's kind of like even old. Mm-hmm. I released that like last year.
I got you.
You know, a lot of people still haven't heard it. But this new music we got coming out is what's like brand new for people.
All right. And with the new music that you bring, and what I guess like what do you feel like you bring into the game as a whole?
Oh man, just you know, the goal is just bring in a lot of things I do, man. I do with style. You know, I'm really big on style, man, and it's just a lot of people I just wanted to put on to, like, it's just a new style, man. Like, from what I wear, and how I say stuff, to the songs I make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just something new, man. I think that's always good to bring something new.
All right, so you feel like you're bringing something different than pretty much what's already out there. You're bringing something new to the game.
Yeah, definitely, man.
All right.
Just a level of quality, you know, being taught by people like, you know, No Idea producing and Kanye producing, and just people like that, and getting to be in the same presence with people like Jay and other just big, inspiring people, and to actually work in the studio with them. It's like, it's good training, you know, so.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see what people think about the big debut time.
So what do you think about, I guess, what you think about the game as far as people saying that, you know, they hearing a lot of music, they not feeling it, and a lot of trash being put out, and nobody's not making good CDs.
I didn't hear the first part. My fault. What'd you say?
I was saying how you know how a lot of people are saying that the music is like watered down and nobody's putting out good music, and the albums are pretty much just not adding up, and you know, in music as a whole is just people not impressed with what's coming out. You know, how do you feel about the music industry? Do you feel like you're still, you know, you're still getting a lot of good music out there? Do you feel like, you know, it's kind of time for somebody to bring something new?
Well, I kind of feel both. I mean, I do think it's always time for somebody to bring something new. Like, you know, look at like Lady Gaga. She was something new. Yeah. You know, like Drake. You know, these are people that's something new. Everybody always loves something new and fresh.
I got you.
And this is definitely new and fresh, I feel like. And, you know, as far as people saying the game watered down, and, you know, it's different times. I feel like it's times of the internet where people don't have to go buy it. But it's just a way somehow that the whole industry has to shift to that. And we got to learn to still make money and still do what we do, just a different way. I think that's what's responsible for, like, you know, low record sales. People saying, like, gold is the new platinum.
Yeah.
$300 the new gold, and just stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just think that's where that's coming from. But there's still ways we can win, though. We just got to figure it out. And people are figuring it out, man. It's like digital labels. It's people really, like, on the verge of getting that really down. And people still selling records, man. Like, Lady Gaga sold how many, like, 6 or 7 million or something crazy.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, people still selling, like, records, man, for real. It's just about doing it the right way. And, man, I'm a fan of doing it the right way.
I got you. But, you know, from my personal opinion, when I look at it, the reason why some people are still going to sell because they really touch home with the fans, you know. And I feel like, you know, the fans, they going to buy the album regardless of if they heard it or not, if they support you feel me? So, as an artist, you know, it's been said that, you know, it's like you got to win over your fans to make them go out and buy the album. So, what do you do as an artist to, like, win over your fans? Besides, like, rapping and bringing good music. What, like, do you do anything else, like, as far as in the community or as far as do you go out and just do sign-ins and just be out with the crowd and, you know?
Oh, yeah, man, I definitely, like, I feel like just being real, man. People love, like, anybody who's real, man. Anybody who's real and is getting attention, they, like, show love to, because, you know, something real is hard to find nowadays, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
And people love that, man. People love it when you're real to them, when your lyrics touch them, and when you relate to situations that people actually go through. You know, when I make my music, I want to make it the soundtrack of people's lives. Whether it's I'm talking about being broke, or whether it's talking about, like, man, what you doing? Man, you bullshit, you know? Like, whether it's talking about breaking up with whoever, you know, getting on or living your dreams out, and everything in between that. And I really think it could be the soundtrack to some people's lives.
Okay.
And that's my goal with the music.
All right. And I take it you already on a, doing shows and doing tours and can you throw out a couple of like I guess shows you have coming up or tours you plan to be on or just how can
Yeah, we just did a whole bunch of shows, man, around the country, like LA, New York, Carolinas, Miami, Florida, Arizona, everywhere. A lot of love, man. We're fortunate enough to like visit all these places, Ohio, Chicago, having crazy shows. Sold out shows, man, and I didn't even have a single out really or anything.
Okay.
And that's just an honor, man. That's all you can ask for as an artist because those are the people that are going to stick with you forever,
Yeah, I got you.
And that's all you can ask for as an artist, man, to have that loyalty and love. So, everything has been going great. And right now we're really latching down just to get this music in and out because it's getting to the point where, man, we got to put it out now. Like, it's just time. It's like past time.
I got you. So what?
That's what we're really doing.
What can we?
I just performed at the Drake show in LA. That was really good. Really
okay.
Big.
And I take it you got a lot of love out there.
Yeah, man. They showed me a lot of love. Performing with my homie Mike Posner.
Okay.
And man, got a lot of love, man. That's like I said. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what can we expect next from you? Like I know you say you got an album you're working on. But I guess besides following you, I know you probably got Twitter and Facebook and all that. Can you I guess throw out a couple of those addresses for me?
Oh yeah, I mean definitely. What we got coming up is like, besides the album, just like bringing something new, man. I feel like that's key to winning. Everything is bringing something new that people can feel, man. And that's what I'm trying to do. And as far as like keeping up with me, I'm on Twitter. It's big_shine, BIG_SEAN. And I'm on it every day, man. And I like holler at people. I just be like, people at me, I add them back and stuff. Just seeing what's good.
Okay.
But I'm on there every day, so BigShine.com. And people can just get me up there for real.
All right, so you pretty much staying in tune with your fans and everything. So if they go in there, they definitely gonna get Big Shine.
Definitely, man. That's all you can do. And pray for the best, man. We wrapping up this album. About to put it out.
All right. Well, I want to wish you much success on the album, and